it's working. Yep.
Okay. Hey!
All right.
Welcome, everyone, to the very first town hall of HarmonyCon 2020. I'm Tyler, one of the chairs, and this is...
Pepper, the other chair. And this is the chair behind me.
God.
Yikes. All right.
So, for those who have not seen one of these town halls before, basically we're just answering questions, talking about the convention a little bit, letting you get to know who we are. So, start off with, guess we started this convention, was probably in December of 2017, I think, was when we first started talking about it with a lot of the other meetup groups in Texas after Dimer Nights ended. And we wanted to create something that would sort of fill that gap in Texas so we would have something around here to keep going.
Oh.
I can't read that from here. Volume low.
Speak directly into the microphone.
Oh, okay.
I'll adjust it as we go, but we're trying to figure out like what levels I can get on without hearing a bunch of background noise.
So we started talking about the idea of HarmonyCon around December of 2017 and officially got the convention created closer to around January or February of 2018. Our first year was this last year in 2019 in February. We had around 500 attendees that year, even though we were only projecting around 200 to 300. So did pretty well for our first year, better than we expected, and we're definitely looking forward to having a even greater second year.
Yes. I had no idea what he was saying. I was trying to adjust the volume for you guys. But I assume he didn't throw me under the bus or something.
Not yet. I'll save that for when the problems come up.
What do we want to do first? Because I was doing this.
So, well, what do you want to talk about? Do you want to just talk about like the convention?
No, what do we want to start with?
Yeah. So, I guess we can answer.
Let's talk about what we're going to talk about.
Talk about what we're going to talk about?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about what we're going to talk about.
So we're going to talk
Shake your head at
about.
me.
Do the Daring Do is heckling us.
Yes, you should all heckle Do the Daring Do because he's heckling us right now.
So we're gonna probably let's see. Let's start. We're gonna do some Q&A because we got some questions people tend to turn into us on Discord or Twitter or here. And if you guys have other questions, feel free to post them, and we'll try to notice them.
Yes, we've got people trying to keep an eye on the town hall channel in our Discord as well as the YouTube stream. So,
do we want to start with some like announcements, just to reiterate like things we've announced and what I want to announce and stuff? Or
let's start with a couple of basic questions, then we'll get into the big announcement. Just so we can wait for a couple more people to get on board.
Okay, so let's start with the question then.
Okay, so one of our first questions is, how long will HarmonyCon continue to operate? That is a resounding, we don't know. And that basically, as long as we can continue to operate HarmonyCon, so long as people are buying badges, so long as we are making enough money that we can actually put on the convention, then we'd like to keep it going.
It's all about viability and just making sure there's enough people who want to attend and that we have the funds to go year by year. I mean, we don't plan these things like more than like just over a year ahead, so you know.
So it's going to be interesting seeing how things change with the show ending this year. Now, that said, that doesn't mean the fandom's ending, of course. And it's just a question of how many people are still going to be going to conventions is the new generation going to bring out a new crowd and how we want to operate in terms of that. So right now we're focusing all of our efforts on this upcoming year, and we're just going to be playing it by ear to see how viable future years are going to be.
One at a time.
Next question is there a new shirt design for the early supporter t-shirt? And yes, there is. Actually just went live today. I don't know if you've seen the announcement on our Discord. We're also going to be posting announcements on Twitter and Facebook as well. And the link is also found on our website. So you can find our new early supporter t-shirt. I'm definitely going to be buying mine as soon as the stream is over. Excuse me.
You should be able to see it here, just so you guys can see it really quick. It's on artworktee.com. And I think it comes in different colors too. Oh yeah, charcoal and white and black. So
Okay, now I'm curious the difference between black and charcoal.
I don't know if it's gonna show it. Nah.
Aw.
Oh well. Yeah, it just went up, so I don't think they have like previews for all of them yet.
Okay, so real quick, before we get into some of the other questions we've gotten, let's go ahead and make our two big announcements for today. And that is our very first two community guests that are going to be announced for HarmonyCon 2020. So first, I'd like to announce Fiora the Tank Girl will be joining us again this year. Writer, streamer, and analyst. She does scientific analysis of fandoms. She's done a lot of science-based panels at conventions. She's also the actress for Queen Quake of BabsCon, and perhaps best known for her work of writing Fallout Equestria Dead Tree, which can be purchased online as well.
I just watched episode 4 from season 1. I just remember Twilight being like, Applejack, it looks like you're kicking a dead tree. And a horse saying you're kicking a dead tree.
And yes, this is the auctioned mega blanket. We got it at BronyCon. Me and my roommates, we bid on it and got it in the vendor hall. It's beautiful. Vrastiper does some amazing artwork. This is such a wonderful piece.
Wonderful.
And as for our second show, our community guest to announce today is Joey O / Peacock Pictures. He's an MLP YouTuber, film production crew, and perhaps best known in the fandom for his work called Pony Meets World and the series Earth to Pony, which is still ongoing.
Oh, okay. He just sounded. You want to do another question?
Yeah, sure. So what are plans for security at the convention and plans in case of emergencies? Essentially, we do have a strict code of conduct, and we do make sure this is enforced. We want to keep everyone safe. We want to make sure everyone's having a good time, that nobody feels threatened or anything. So if you ever have any concerns, always feel free to reach out to any of the staff members around the convention during the convention, or message us beforehand if it's something that comes up before the convention itself. Any of our staff members would be more than happy to help you, and we always want to keep you guys safe. So we are also going to be making sure that we do have contingency plans just in case of any emergencies that we'll be going over with all of our volunteers beforehand, just to make sure that everything runs smoothly. Will there be another art stream? Our head of design assures me there will be another one. He's just not certain when exactly yet, but we will have that figured out at some point.
As you look.
But there will be another art stream, yes.
Can I pop this out?
Let's see, who is someone who isn't very visible but quietly works to make HarmonyCon awesome without expecting recognition. What do they do? The one I would probably say the most is our AV staff. I mean, all of them in general, but especially Dan, Garrick, Cody, are major guys behind the AV team who provide us with so much equipment and work way, way too long trying to make sure everything's up and running.
Sleeping in the hall to get set up.
Yeah, last year, the night before the convention, they were working from 3 p.m. when they got into the main event space until 7 or 8 the next morning, setting up everything. They did not sleep that night, which we're trying to avoid having happen again this year.
I mean, who did sleep? But
Yeah, you don't sleep at conventions. Is there anyone else you want to give a shout out to on staff?
Oh my gosh! I mean, I wouldn't say any of them get enough recognition. I mean, there's not like that many front-facing staff members, so.
You don't count.
Our security guys are great. They're kind of just standing around the con. I mean, nobody really is like constantly asking them who they are or anything, and they're not on stage or anything. So give a big thanks to those guys for making sure everything runs smoothly.
Chris and Jen did a wonderful job this last year as our head of security. There's also Daybat in particular, who was a little bit of ops, security, AV, a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of staff, please, if you want to volunteer, submit an application. We'd love to have you guys. No convention can run without the amazing volunteers helping to make it happen. And it's always a fun experience. I mean, going to a convention is one kind of thing, but when you work on a convention, you get a whole different kind of experience. You meet so many close friends that you would have never gotten to know otherwise, and it's really something that you just can't put into words, actually working on a convention. So please volunteer, give just a bit of your time to help us make this as amazing as possible.
Got someone here asking, what would you say is the vibe of HarmonyCon? Or the overall mood of the convention?
We need to speak up a bit.
Okay. Maybe I don't know, it sounds loud to me. As far as the overall mood of the convention goes, I mean, we only had 1 year, so we can only judge it on that. But I would say it's a very laid-back convention. It's not a huge space, so it's it feels kind of tight-knit. It's a lot of nice areas to hang out in the hotel. So it's cozy. And just feels more personal to me personally, because there's been course cons at that hotel for a long time. I don't know, do you have anything to add to that?
Let's see. Tyler, can you remind Pepper I still get 100 free autographs?
No, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
They're all autographs from you.
100 autographs for Pepper. That's a lot of bad handwriting. Hoping to make HarmonyCon a really good place just to meet people and connect, especially if there's still a lot of people who have been going to cons for their first time, which always surprises me. And I want these conventions to be maintained as a place where you can go without really knowing anybody else who is going there, and have a lot of good opportunities to meet people and hopefully lasting connections?
Let's see. In terms of like the vibe, it's sort of a long answer to the question, but
Okay.
my thing with this convention is essentially that we want to emphasize harmony, and especially just bringing people together, both in terms of the show as well as beyond it. We want to encourage people to take these messages from the show and exercise them everywhere, to be good people, even to people outside the fandom, be good people to each other. And essentially that's why I really like the name HarmonyCon, is because that is the core emphasis to me, is the harmony between all of us. Cheesy as it sounds.
Aww. Thumb heart.
Regarding volunteers, do you send "We've received your application" emails? Yes, I believe our registration system, working with a system called Concrescent, if I remember correctly, it does send a confirmation email to you when you submit an application.
Wait, was that a question? What? I don't know if it sends email confirmations.
Well, I was looking through our emails the other day, and it sends...
Well, we get email confirmations.
Yeah.
I don't know if the people who actually apply get a confirmation.
So I was talking to Joey about it. I believe that it does.
Okay.
I'd have to double check, but I believe it does send them confirmation.
Okay. Well, I don't know if the person asking, was asking because they didn't or something. Yeah, panel applications are still open. Musician applications are still open. Vendor applications are still open. All the applications are still open. Most of them close in November, I believe.
Yeah, none of the applications have closed yet. So if you have someone that you want to see there in terms of community guests, panels, anything, tell them to submit. Yes, we did see a uptick in registration after BronyCon, which is to be expected after any major convention when you advertise there. Our registration so far has been going fairly well.
Yeah, I'd say we were doing at least a little bit better than we were last year in terms of, not because it wasn't bad last year, but I think we were getting registrations more quickly.
Now that said, that doesn't mean you don't need to worry about it. You should definitely register as soon as possible.
I would encourage you all to register as soon as you're comfortable spending the money, because the earlier we get the money, the more we can budget for things. Because anything we make at the con or right before it is kind of just pushed into a potential next year.
Yeah, because we have to pay the bills before the convention in terms of
pretty
fees
much
and flights.
95% of our bills we have to pay beforehand.
Yeah. So that's why pre-registration is so important for a convention.
I think the volume's okay. Did you read it?
Oh, yes.
Tyler.
Oh, yes, I did. Oh, yes, the biggest yeehaw. Well, I was sick last week, so I'm still recovering. Let's see how big of a yeehaw I can get you. Well, howdy, yeehaw there! Yeehaw! I'm gonna yeet-haw you out of here. Yeet!
That mic peak. Well, somebody wanted us to be louder, so I don't know.
Now, I do expect all of you guys to give a big yeet-haw at the concert this year. Especially during Do the Daring Do set. Everyone, at the beginning of Do the Daring Do set, make sure to give the biggest yeehaw you can.
There's going to be plenty. Yes, there's going to be plenty of water stands there, every year.
Oh yes, we definitely want you guys to stay hydrated. see what other ones came
Sweet
in.
tea stands, yeah.
You mean Harmony Star's bathwater? See. Oh yes. How did we come up with the vaporwave theme, and how do we plan to use it?
Oh,
Well, how did we come up with that, Pepper?
I don't know how. I just thought let's do vape. I think I was listening to a vaporwave song, and I was like, hey, let's do a vaporwave theme. And then I started convincing everybody that we should do a vaporwave theme. And as soon as Evaline liked it, it kind of got locked in because the design team kind of has to do that.
Essentially, it started as what I thought was a joke, and then became very serious very quickly.
I mean, I wasn't joking. Sir, you need to message us if you want us to hear what you're saying.
Did you have a question, young man?
Slide into our DMs, please. In terms of what we're gonna do with it, though, like, we hope that there's like, the concert will probably have some good use of that in terms of just theming. Obviously, our merchandise that we should have more merchandise this year. Like, I think we're gonna have like posters and stuff. Maybe lanyards.
Yeah, we're just looking
shirts.
into what's affordable and what we can do. Because just keep in mind, we're a smaller convention. We don't quite have the budget of some of those large ones.
One person was wondering if there's going to be a gala again, or like a dance style thing, rather.
Yeah, we are still talking about it. I would like to make it a bit more formal, personally.
Mm-hmm.
Last year we had sort of a Hearts and Hooves dance, which was sort of like a gala, just a bit more laid back. I'd like to make it a bit more formal this year. We're still talking about the plans and, basing it on musicians that apply and what we're going to have at the concert, which is, I can say for certain, is going to be even more lit than last year.
Hearts and Hooves dance. Yeah, it does sound quite pure.
So does My Little Pony.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main question.
I would say encouraged, but I mean, in terms of a dress code, I don't know. If we did anything, it'd probably just go as far as...
Make sure you're wearing shoes and shirt.
I don't know. Like, as far as I would go with it, it's just having, like, well, definitely not ratty clothes.
Yeah.
Maybe decent pair of pants and a button-down shirt. I don't know. Like, the most I would restrict is t-shirts and shorts, maybe.
Yeah. That's the main question in terms of a gala, is how strict we want to be with the dress code, because we don't want to exclude people, but we do want it to be a bit nicer for those who are going. Yes, everyone at the gala must wear a monocle. It is required at all times. Monocle and cane. Bring your best monocles, my good ladies and gentlemen.
You have to give the door guard your best. I say.
Oh,
yeah.
So, as a special guest, I would like to welcome onto our stream, Do the Daring Awoo.
That's not my name.
Oh, she actually.
Hello. Hey, nice shirt.
Thank you. Nice shirt.
Thank you. You too. Thank you.
Whoa, where did you come from?
Hello, everyone. I've been shaking my head many, many times just in the background.
One of my favorite pastimes is making him look disappointed in me.
Seeing as how I'm your roommate now, that's going to be pretty common. I love you, though. But yes, hi, everyone.
So, those of you who don't know who this is Do the Daring Do, one of the musicians that performed last year, as well as the actor for Harmonic Tune, one of the mascots of our convention.
This one.
That one.
The yellow one.
Not the pink one, but the yellow one.
You don't want to see that.
I love the pink one.
No, you don't want to see me be the pink one.
Oh, okay.
Yes. No, that was by our good friend Whitney Ackerman, who I don't know where she is right now.
I don't know. We could always get you one of those plaid skirts and blonde wig.
No. I already wore a wig.
Oh dear.
Ooh, it's touchscreen. I didn't know that.
Yes, it is.
Neat.
So fancy.
It's a nice laptop.
So, another question, just sort of a fun one, I guess, is Ed, and Eddie a good crossover for MLP? I would like to open that up to what would be a good crossover for MLP. Personally, I think a good crossover would be
The main six go to the cul-de-sac.
oh no. Did you want a water, Pepper?
What?
He's
Water.
offered you water.
No, I have my beverage, sir. But I appreciate
You were saying?
your offer.
Yes, I think a good crossover would be Star vs. the Forces of Evil. If you've watched that show, I would be terrified to see what happens when when Star meets Pinkie Pie. But it would be a good crossover, I think. What do you think? What's a good crossover?
I don't know. Just I keep thinking back to Jim Miller, because with both MLP and Ed, and Eddie, and like one of the first thing that comes to my mind is I want to see pairings of I want to see Twilight and Double D work on something together. Meanwhile, Eddie is in like some sort of business competition with the Flim Flam Brothers, so who would have the best scam?
There would be a new "That's My Horse" meme.
Oh my God, yes, that'd be perfect.
And I'm assuming, Ed and Pinkie Pie can make buttered toast. And
Yeah.
it.
Make the best buttered toast. Gravity Falls, that would be another wonderful crossover.
Are we keeping it just to other animation or just in general? How crazy can we go with the crossover?
Well, Deadpool
House.
already crosses over with
Like,
everything.
did you say house?
House.
Okay.
Twilight Sparkle in a house. Solve a medical mystery.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said that. It's so random.
I'm pretty sure that was in one of the Ponies the Anthology, Horse MD.
They did Monk.
Yeah, that was in the most recent Ponies the Anthology, which was wonderful.
Whoa, the Monk one? No, that's years old.
It's not.
Oh, you're talking about the Horse MD one, right?
Oh, no, you're right. I'm sorry, I just got confused because I was rewatching the old Ponies the Anthology. That was one of the first ones.
It's not horse lupus.
Always have a soft spot for the anthology. But yes, fun question. The problem is we could go on with that for days.
Oh yeah.
But
Horse MD was leveled up.
So I'm gonna bring back some questions from one of our earlier town halls, just so we can answer some things. What are the top 3 things that we, the attendees, can do to make the con successful?
Okay.
I would say pre-register is a big one. That, like we were saying earlier, pre-registering always helps. Number 2 is tell your friends about the convention. And that means, talk about it on Twitter, talk about it on Facebook, talk about it at your local meetups, wherever. If people don't know about the convention, it's hard to sell them a badge and hard to keep the con going. But the more people that know about it, the more people can come, have a good time, get to meet and hang out with all sorts of new and old friends. The third major thing is also apply, can't talk today. Put applications in for panels, volunteering. We need more people to put in panel applications. Please, if you have an idea for a panel, don't be afraid to submit an application. Tell your friends if they have an idea. Submit an application panel.
I'll submit
Panel
mine.
application.
I'll submit mine soon, I promise.
Make me disappointed here.
What? When do actually? There's a good question going off of that. How long are panel applications open?
Until, if I remember correctly, mid-November.
Oh wow. Okay. I actually did not know that. Nice. Very nice.
Links to submit panels, yeah, I can post those on Discord, Twitter, and everything. They are on the website. Just go to harmonycon.org, and at the top, click on attend, or no, sorry, events.
I guess.
Events, host a panel.
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Already did it.
Time to grab something.
He's do the daring gone.
And now he's do the daring back. Neither one is catchy or clever. I'm sorry.
Is anybody else still having audio issues besides the one person who is?
Let me see.
I'm asking.
There is not a limit to the number of panels you can do, assuming. Well, okay. Let me rephrase that. There's a limit to the number of panels you can do. That simply being what is physically human possible. There is not a limit to how many you can submit.
There's some I want to ask if we can submit them, but I also kind of wanted to keep it a surprise. So I'll just tell you later.
Okay. I know, for example, Dewey here did a ridiculous number of panels last year. So keep in mind.
Yeah, I got pulled in about 150 directions.
Try not to overdo yourself. We'll try to make sure we don't schedule someone for too many panels that they get overworked.
Mm-hmm. Like that's my advice to you. Don't do that, because it is very, very easy to get swept up and honestly forget how many things you're doing. So we want to come to the convention, just have a good time, but we also you want to stay active, you want to do some fun stuff with people, but for the love of God, give yourself some time to breathe. Just have some downtime, chill, go see another panel, go have just some downtime with that. But yeah, it's very easy to get swept up in just how many panels you're actually doing sometimes. I still have the Nightmare Nights email about that.
Oh, that was wonderful.
Can I tell that real quick? It's super.
Sure.
So, before HarmonyCon, I was
talking to the mic.
Oh, right. But yeah, so before HarmonyCon and whatnot, I was really involved with Nightmare Nights, and I was one of the musicians. I did a bunch of panels and whatnot. And I remember on our last year for Nightmare Nights, I submitted like 6 or 7 panels, and Chef Sandy sent me an email that said, hello to the Daring Do. All of your panels have been accepted. Goodness. that goodness killed me.
But did you guys have any suggestions on what attendees can do to make the con successful?
One of the I'm gonna get in that habit. Really, a lot of my personal favorite times at conventions usually aren't with like obviously the scheduled events are great and I love them, but sometimes just like the spur of the moment stuff that just kind of happens is a lot of fun. So I guess just put yourself out there and maybe just put yourself out there and just see if anyone wants to just start chatting, play some fun games. There's all sorts of stuff. I mean, how many cons go by and you see people playing something like Twilight Shift game that's everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And it's just
I have my copy.
Exactly, and they're so spur of the moment. They can spring up at any time. Some other stuff you could do. I mean, just go make some new friends. It's always good. Like the overall point is just put yourself out there, because great stuff happens. It really does.
You bring up a great point. With going out there, one thing that you can really do to make a con successful is to literally just go out around the convention and make friends.
Mm-hmm.
Introduce yourself to people. If someone looks like they're alone and not, or a little lonely, go and ask them, hey, do you want to go see this panel with us? Or just, hey, do you want to go to the concert?
Mm-hmm.
Get people involved.
And that's actually something that I always love to emphasize, because as Pepper mentioned earlier, there's a lot of instances where this is someone's first convention ever, and they're not really sure what to do. They're confused, or they're just shy, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I can say with confidence that these spaces are some of the easiest crowds to get along with. Everyone is there to have a good time. So,
And hopefully is there for the same interest, like fundamentally.
well, yes, that's kind of
Hopefully.
Yes.
And that's really the biggest draw, I think, to it, is that you can kind of have that initial and very specific tie-in with anybody who goes, which I think kind of sets it apart from like a typical anime or comic convention, since those other ones, they're much more generalized, and you might have, everybody at an anime convention likes anime, but they haven't necessarily all watched the same one.
Whereas here, we know we're all there for the ponies.
That's actually kind of funny that you mentioned anime cons, because I go to those a lot. My first convention ever was an anime con, but like I personally am not a super what did we miss?
NCR's just saying weebs.
Oh my god! Of course.
Let me finish. Let me finish, Arch. I was about to say I'm actually not super big into anime. I have some that I kind of like, but like I'm not.
Sword Art Online is the best.
If anyone knows this, I actually do have an anime I love called Mushishi. I do love that, but that's about it. Like I can't name off like 50 animes like some people at these cons go. And like more power to them. If they can, great. But my point is like you can still go to these cons and just have fun, socialize with people, hang out, make friends. Which I mean, I think that is, above all else, is just the experience.
Oh.
I only like anime if it's about little screamo red panda animals.
Okay. See, that's how out of touch with it I. It took me like 5 extra seconds to be like, oh, that's what he's talking about. Oh, okay.
So, real quick, Cadet was sharing on the stream. I had a friend that actually went for the past 4 years that had never had anyone to hang out with. And he was actually going to quit going after BronyCon. And then I friended him, and now he's going to Cider Fest with me.
Aww.
And that just goes to show, people have been going to these conventions for a long time and still feel lonely and like they haven't met anyone. So please, you can really make someone's day just going out there and introducing yourself.
In terms of that, I really would like us to try and do an event or two that kind of pushes the concept of meeting new people. Because some people just aren't able to work up the courage to kind of make that initial push in meeting somebody, or kind of just insert themselves into a conversation. So I think we want to try to encourage that. Yeah, like a friend making kind of.
Sometimes saying the first hello is difficult.
Speed friendship making.
Speed
friending.
Speed friending,
but for friends.
Yeah, exactly. I was actually thinking about that as a possibility.
Yeah.
Speed friending.
I like the. Can we have it as like speed dating ... but for friends.
But we're just friends. Friend zone instantly.
I'm not entirely sure how to answer this question. It says, how would you handle staff issues or outside issues between someone and staff? Honestly, just message. You can give me a DM or Pepper or Chrism or one of our mods, anyone. We like to handle these issues with care for each person involved. We don't want to make anything public if that's not necessary. So we want to make sure that everyone has their privacy respected. Honestly, if there is any issue, just feel free to DM one of us, and we can always talk about what you would like to do.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
It was about how would you handle staff issues or outside issues between someone and staff.
Okay, yeah. Just as respectfully as possible, ideally. Yeah.
What's next?
Let's see here. I'm trying to go back and forth between the two.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Tell us about the mascots.
Uh-oh.
Well, as one of the mascots, would
Yes.
you like to tell us about yourself?
Well, I do the voice and the acting for Harmonic Tune. Like I said, this one, the yellow one.
The cheese crackers one.
Yes, the cheese crackers one, and he's just what? Oh,
Laid back country boy.
not really. No, actually, that's the thing. He's not really a country boy at all. I myself am not really country at all. I love telling this irony. I'm actually super allergic to horses. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yes, I am allergic to horses. But Harmonic Tune, he's really Harmony Star is a really good friend. He's chill, laid back, just loves to play guitar and stuff like that. Just I again, like, someone once made a joke about it like being the element of chill, which I quite like. And then there's Harmony Star, who is the total opposite. All over the place, loves sweet tea, just really fun and silly to be around. I mean, a perfect example is how in our first year we didn't have that, but now we're going into year 20. I said year 20. 2020, excuse me. We're going into 2020 with now a pet crab named Closton.
Ah, Closton.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And I'm also still angry about how perfectly clever that name is. I did not come up with it.
I like to think of Closton as a bit of a memoriam to BronyCon.
Aww.
And in the best way possible.
I know,
Yeah.
but that's an interesting
Yeah.
way to look at it.
Yes, Ye-Claw.
Jeez, but yeah, I guess Harmony Star is very much. She's definitely the one who would give a big yeehaw well before Harmonic Tune would.
Yes, Harmony Star is, I guess, best described as a cross between Applejack and Pinkie Pie. She is sort of like a weeb for Texas.
Never thought of it like that.
A city girl who loves Texas culture and likes to pretend to be Texan as much as possible.
Yikes.
I prefer to think of it as aggressive embracement. That's.
Is Harmonic Tune rivals with Hoofbeats the way Ash and Gary were rivals?
Wait, what?
That's one of the questions.
What was the question?
Is Harmonic Tune rivals with Hoofbeats the way Ash and Gary were rivals?
No, we love hoofbeats.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
Harmonic Tune's too chill.
He's too chill to have a rival.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, I just think ours is a little better.
Oh, no, we are not going.
Well,
We are not going down that avenue. No,
Hoofbeats.
I do like to think that Tune and Beats would be friends,
Yeah.
not rivals.
So here's a question. I really care about pony music, as many others do, and I'd love to meet many new artists who'd love to play but don't really get the chance. Will HarmonyCon be able to provide that chance for them by having a Renegade stage?
The Renegade stage is a solid maybe, I think.
Yeah, it really depends on...
It depends on space mostly, and I think we have that kind of on the backlog of things we want to do.
Mhm.
So if we have the extra space, then we'll try to do it.
If our attendance numbers, specifically pre-registration numbers, go up significantly compared to the past year, we might be able to get more event space added that could be used for that purpose.
Yeah.
At this time, there's a lot of things that people would like to see, from Artist Alley to Renegade Stage to more panels. It's very difficult to say which one should really win out, which one needs would be the best suited to that purpose. So it's going to depend on how many people we have pre-registered and what we can do with the space we have.
Yeah, but it's something we'd like to do if we are able to.
It's kind of like across that bridge if we get to it, but it's a bridge we would like to get to. It's just a maybe.
Also, Tyler, can you tell Pepper his nose is cute?
Who?
The biggest Flutter fan.
Oh, okay.
You have a cute nose, Pepper.
Cool.
Harmonic Tune agrees.
Oh.
But yeah, I do like how Renegade stages are becoming more and more common throughout convention. So I'd love to see it too.
Now, for myself and I believe for Pepper as well, we both, or at least myself, got involved in this fandom largely because of the music.
Yay.
I started watching the show as it was because a friend of mine back in college got me into it, and for me at first it was a really good show, but it was still just a really good show. I didn't know anything about the fandom or anything like that until I was listening to music on YouTube and favorited the song 20% Cooler by Ken Ashcorp. Then YouTube started to suggest more pony-based music. And I started going, this sounds interesting. What's this? And sort of went down the rabbit hole from there, favoriting more pony music and getting involved in the fandom via that way and learning that there was a fandom in the first place. So the music does hold a very special place for me, and that's why both of us especially want to make sure our concert is very good and that we do place a big emphasis on that.
Most of, I would say the majority of my connections to the fandom are musicians too, and that's where I like the most of the people I hang out with. So it's just been, what I'm trying to say is it's been a big part of my time in the fandom too. As soon as I started going to EQD and I saw Eurobeats, Luna pop up and everything, I've been really attached to the music side of the fandom.
Mm-hmm. Now that's not to say we prioritize it over other areas, just that we
I'd like
want
to say that I'm sorry to cut you off.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Not that we sacrifice other things for the sake of music, but that we do want to make sure that our music scene is top notch and that it is what we feel is going to be a wonderful experience for all our attendees.
Well, we like to put a lot of effort into making sure we have a good, diverse lineup and at least get some good new people and just overall make it as good as possible. And our AV staff definitely make that very possible, and as well as Luck Rock with the concert management.
Bless Luck.
But Tyler and I like to be involved with the concert as well as other community-focused things. I wouldn't like to say that we're just a music-focused convention. I think we're we like to consider ourselves more of a community-focused convention these days.
I do want to see
so we do want to have more opportunities for artists and content creators in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
Sorry, just real quick, there was a question about the space in the hotel and what space we're using. Right now we are using pretty much the entirety of the second floor of the hotel, all of their event spaces up there. First floor we don't have at this time. That's areas that we can't really justify unless we have more pre-registration. So those are sort of areas that would be nice to add if we can negotiate that, but would rely heavily upon getting more pre-registration in ahead of the convention. Sorry, you were going to say something?
It was just going back to the whole music thing. Is I don't really have anything specific yet, or just stuff I want to share quite yet. But I will. I'll be doing what I can to try and incorporate some music-based or music-related events as well.
Besides the
concert.
No, the
March
Equality March. Yeah.
Oh, we can talk
Which
about
is
that.
even
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course. Why not?
Yes. No. I
Glimmers
you wanna do
Glimmers
it.
of voice actor we're gonna have.
Okay. Yes, you guys have no idea how much I have been dying for that. As soon as we got Kelly, I'm like, the stars are aligning here. I've been doing the March for Equality for years now, but this is the first time we may have a chance to do it with the Starlight Glimmer, and I am just over the moon about that. That will be so awesome.
Heads high, every pony.
Oh my God! Pepper, move on. Oh my God! It's gonna be amazing.
Make them pan out.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
Because Ellie wanted to join when we did it in our first year, and she was so close to, but she got sick, and I was so sad that.
I was surprised with the amount of energy she put out, considering she wasn't feeling the greatest. She is a wonderful person.
Yes. Anyway.
As far as other show guests go, obviously we can't really talk about what we have confirmed or beyond what we have already confirmed, just until we have contracts settled and negotiated. We are looking at more show guests, of course. However, we just can't state exactly who. Just keep in mind, we are a smaller convention. We're not going to have the budget of, say, HarmonyCon or Everfree Northwest in terms of dozens of show guests. That's just not in the realm of possibility for us unless we have attendance numbers far exceeding what we are projecting at this time.
But I will say, just going back to the whole like focus of the con and the vibe and everything that goes on, we really do like to focus on getting VIPs and really any kind of guest that really likes to be a part of the event itself and wants to be there and hang around with not musicians, with the attendees.
Well, we know where your mind is.
Yikes. Just community guests and VIPs that really like to be a part of the whole show and not just go the extra mile just because they want to.
Oh yes, that's right. There was that question earlier about what factors go into selecting community guests and show guests.
Okay.
So like you were just saying,
Yeah, that kind of leads into
you
that.
have people that that interact well with the attendees.
People that bring a very good positive vibe to the convention, like just kind of adding to the overall experience for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far
And obviously
as,
there's other stuff that goes into, who we can get. There's also just regular old viability, like can we
afford it?
afford them, We can't talk too much about that, but just obviously that plays into it a lot.
And that goes also for community guests in that same regard of it's a balance between what is this guest going to be bringing to the convention? Are they going to be, quite frankly, are they going to be increasing attendance numbers? Or
are they going to provide enough content to the event to consider it?
yes.
Like, are they contributing enough to consider them?
Yes, are they making a significant contribution? Are people going to really enjoy seeing them there? Are they going to be doing something that attendees are going to really have a good time with? As well as balancing that with, can we afford what they need? If it's just basic badges, then it's a lot more simple. If they're asking for accommodations beyond that, then it gets more
You told me to do a dance.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, wait. Hang on, guys. I'm about to reconnect, I think.
We good?
Here's
We got sound.
I don't know why it did that. I just wanted
And we're back.
Is it good?
I kind of just went to properties. And I wasn't-
Yay!
We did it!
We did it!
All right.
Yeah!
Okay.
We back.
Yeehaw!
That was
We
really,
back, boys.
That was really weird.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. The dance worked. Yes, I did the dance to bring the audio.
What were we talking about? Because we were talking about something.
We were talking about the guests, but we pretty much wrapped up that question.
The power of friendship?
I did see a question on here. It's a bit of ways up. Someone asked, "Is HarmonyCon a gamer?"
Oh my gosh.
I would imagine that's more of a
I don't think I'm at liberty to answer that question.
I'd just say that's more of a Harmony Star thing, maybe. I don't know.
Gamer. It's probably casual. Mobile games.
I would picture Harmony Star being a really hardcore gamer, really enjoying it, and then HarmonyCon being very casual about it, and then playing her and beating her, and then she gets really frustrated.
He's her kryptonite.
Yes.
He's her kryptonite. He can't even. He doesn't even know. I don't know. I guess it's just beginner's luck.
I guess I just stink.
No. Like he never trash talks her. He never trash talks her. He's just like, look, I'm doing the best I can, but like I can't make myself win, or can I? Sound is back now, so make sure.
All right.
Yeah, we're good. Okay. Anyways.
Well, we are getting close to 1 hour. I think we're gonna try and wrap it up around there.
Okay.
Well, if we got good questions, if anybody wants to throw in some more questions,
Yeah, we can always go a tiny bit over.
feel free to
You have a-
do so. If we really run out of questions, then we probably will just end. But yeah.
Harmonic Tune is really into Animal Crossing.
I guess that sounds right.
Isabelle is his favorite character.
I've
no.
never played an Animal Crossing game in my life, and suddenly the chat just
How are
goes,
you doing today?
"Oh, what?
How are you doing today?
Chill game for a chill dude."
I am doing swimmingly.
Oh.
I am hungry. Everybody dab.
Hi, hungry. I'm Dad.
You're on live. You got to do it.
Why does this fall to just me?
Because we do it all the time.
No, they want us all collectively to do it. If I'm doing it, you're absolutely doing it.
Fine. Pepper,
What?
This way.
dab on 3. 1, 2, 3. It
I
was-
feel sick.
we have to do what the people want. This is what you wanted, right?
Yikes.
You're welcome, chat.
We're extremely professional PonyCon chairs.
As you can tell, we dab a lot.
Yeah.
We have absolute idea of what we're doing.
And this is why our AV team is instituting a dab jail at the convention that we will be required to go to if we dab.
Can we just have a con currency called dab dollars? It just lit up like, this is a great idea.
Bro, you just posted cringe. You're going to lose subscribers. Oh man, everyone just unsubscribed.
That is a thing of beauty. Anyways, so let's get off that
Yeah,
subject.
more serious.
This is not the
Harmony
note
Star
we
plays
want.
Pocket Ponies.
This is
Okay.
not the note we want to end on.
No. Is Harmony Star similar to Pinkie? Well, yeah, like I said earlier, she's sort of like a cross between Pinkie Pie and Applejack. I have not heard of Enchantimals.
Enchantimals?
No idea.
Catchy name, but oh wow. Let's see. She's got a bit more Pinkie Pie feel. Yep. What?
Can we actually have a dab jail? It was in our AV floor plan last year.
Was it just like a timeout?
I mean, to be fair, there was also hot lava, the floor plan for AV, but it was replaced with a ring of chairs due to fire code.
I don't remember this at all.
I'm not sure if you ever saw it. Our AV team drew up a wonderful floor plan, like, in actual editor and everything,
Mm-hmm.
with a list of changes. It was beautiful. It actually was in the empty box that Jim auctioned off at the charity auction.
Really?
Yes.
No, I did not know that.
The supposedly empty box actually had the original AV floor plan in it.
Well then. Let's see, I remember that floor plan I got. I must have missed that. My bad.
My favorite type of cookie,
Either chocolate chip or sugar.
ginger snap.
This is pure disgust.
Favorite type of cookie? I think chocolate chip macadamia is pretty damn good.
We did just have. Didn't you come home with like a bunch of snickerdoodles?
Yes.
Those are good.
Oh.
I like snickerdoodles.
I want a snickerdoodle now.
We're out. You ate them all.
Oh, don't see. Oh yeah, that somebody else remembered the floor plan getting active.
Okay, but what would Harmonic Tunes and Harmony Star's favorite cookies be?
Is there a
Sweet tea
tea
cookie?
flavored cookie?
I mean, I don't see why you couldn't. I mean, you just have to incorporate the tea into the cookie somehow.
I feel like
Like,
Harmonic Tune
Make
would-
like a tea syrup.
Ew. I feel like Harmonic Tune was just, he'd be pretty whatever about, like, if you just give him Oh no. I like this. Like he likes anything that isn't oatmeal raisin.
No. His favorite is oatmeal raisin, and every time he eats it,
I hate oatmeal raisin.
Harmony Star were to drink unsweet tea and sweet tea at the same time. Does she take a screenshot?
What?
I don't. That's
just less sweet tea, I think.
Yeah, it's slightly less sweet tea.
I think that's just slightly sweetened tea.
I mean, we've already shown that if she drinks, what was it? Earl Grey. If she drinks Earl Grey, she gets a British accent.
Oh, okay.
Also, yes, Ginger Snap should be the name of a pony. That sounds like a really cute
I
pony.
feel like there is a pony named Ginger Snaps.
That sounds adorable.
Surely somewhere out there.
There's probably a background pony out there somewhere that
Well,
actually
okay,
has the
background
name.
pony or not, but surely there's either that or like the very high probability that somebody out there somewhere has an OC named Ginger Snaps.
Right.
Anyways.
Well, I think we should probably wrap it up. I'll just go over the...
Do you love your Broken Skies more?
I'm sorry, Ocean Breeze. I love Broken Skies. My boy. I'm sorry, but Garrick and I, we have those special BronyCon 2016 memories.
One of Cadet's OCs is named Ginger Snap.
Well, there you go. See, so I was right.
That's why it sounded familiar.
I
don't
was
know.
right. It's just a little closer to home.
Plus, Garrick is one of my heads of AV, and he can make life very difficult for me if I don't say I love him.
I think if Harmony Star drank lemon ginger tea, her throat would be soothed. I don't know what else to say.
Dewey and I discussed that there should be a pony
Lemon ginger tea is pretty good though.
called Cupcake Pancake after the one served at IHOP. Yeah, IHOP has something called the Cupcake Pancake, and it looks monstrous.
I want one now.
We went out with Princess Derby once, and she got one, and it's exactly how it sounds. Just a massive cupcake pancake.
I think Harmony Star is just wearing a regular
Yeah, it's a regular
cowgirl
cowboy hat.
Yeah.
It's her own hat.
Yeah.
I mean, it's passed out to every
maybe
person that
unless she
enters
got it from
Texas.
Stinky Bottom's discount hat importer. Then it could be the same type of hat.
I like that. That's good. I appreciate that reference. I appreciate that. Anyways.
Oh, real quick, another
Is there a place in Texas y'all would recommend once the con is done?
place you would recommend.
Like a restaurant or something?
Well, there's 160 restaurants just in 3 miles of the hotel.
Restaurant.
So there's plenty to eat at if that's what you're looking for.
Jay's Diner and Londoner are probably the two like con favorites like long time.
Oh, yeah.
Going back to Nightmare Nights even.
Tradition.
I heard there's a Canadian diner in the area that I want to try.
There is.
Yeah.
I haven't got its
I want to
location.
get some poutine.
I have not had poutine yet. I want to try it. I've heard really good things about it.
Yeah, well, I wonder if it's any good because it's like cheese curds in the U.S. are hard to get good.
Other places I would recommend, Love and War in Texas is a wonderful restaurant.
Is there one over by the hotel?
Not by the hotel. He's just asking other places nearby in Texas.
Ah, okay.
It's basically sort of a general Texan cuisine with a menu dedicated to each region of Texas.
I know this one is gonna have an objection, but I don't care. I cannot recommend Freebird's burritos enough.
No, I agree. That's pretty good.
Oh, you
Yeah.
mean lesser Chipotle?
I don't.
No,
I don't know.
no.
I think Freebirds has more options than I think.
Yeah, boy, Freebirds.
I think their chicken's better.
And there's one not too far from the convention either. It's like what?
He was talking about sightseeing.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, Dallas is pretty close. I mean,
as you can tell, we all have our minds on food.
there's.
I am very hungry right now.
There's some good art museums. There's like a Asian art museum. The Crow.
So in Dallas, there is the what's it called?
The Pro.
Perot, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, the Ross Perot Science Museum, which has some really cool exhibits there, as well as the Dallas Art Museum right next to it, and the Dallas World Aquarium, sort of in like the same area. That's in downtown Dallas.
I don't remember what it's called, but there's a really nice Asian gallery in downtown. I think you just have to Google like Asian art gallery or something, but
Yeah.
it is really cool.
If you want to go a little bit further out, there is also the Kimball Art Museum and the Stockyards in Fort Worth.
Yeah, it's in Fort Worth.
Which is really awesome.
About 45 minutes away from Addison, probably.
Somebody mentioned Six Flags.
Six Flags
Six
in
Flags.
Hurricane Harbor. Well, I don't know. You want to go to Hurricane Harbor in February.
I don't think they're open.
Yeah.
But
So Six
that
Flags
probably
at
is a
least.
good time to go to Six Flags, though, since it's not as hot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and of course, the National Video Game Museum in Frisco,
Mm-hmm.
which I would like to say we will be partnering again with this year as well. So they'll be helping to provide more equipment for our video game room at HarmonyCon again.
That's.
The National Video Game Museum is pretty awesome.
I actually have not been there yet.
Yes, we need to take you.
I wanna
and
go.
the stuff they provided last year was really cool. They had some awesome retro gaming systems and a whole huge library of games.
Very good. Very good. I mean, like, there's a bunch of other stuff too, but
Yeah.
you'll have a good time if you go to Dallas.
I'll see you later, Cadet. Nice to have you here.
Also, actually, I want to go ahead and say this now because I personally have been getting this question a lot because Dallas is a city with 2 airports.
Yeah.
So I get the question a lot. Which airport should I fly into?
Well, I would always say Love Field.
I would too. As much as I
If
love
you can.
as much like you can do DFW and I love DFW, but Love Field it's a little closer and it's pretty much isn't it just kind of a straight shot from the hotel?
Technically speaking, yeah.
Yeah, you can pretty much just go down Midway.
They're both about the same driving distance away, though, like
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes.
Well, Love Field's about 15, 20 minutes from the hotel, whereas DFW is maybe 30 to 40.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well, in
mean-
traffic, maybe, I guess, with 40 minutes.
Either
I
way,
don't
it's
think
not
so.
a huge drive. Probably the cheapest option is going to be an Uber or Lyft.
Yeah. Sometimes you can I would just recommend planning with people who are also flying in and see if you can work like a Uber split out.
Well, that's it too, because like for those that haven't been before, Love Field is significantly smaller
Yeah.
than DFW.
It's a lot easier.
DFW is like the size of a
Yeah.
miniature city, but
I mean,
DFW is just like
Love Field's like a fifth of DFW, maybe.
Mm,
Like,
oh.
if anything.
I'd say it's
In terms of like gates,
Yeah.
like just purely.
yeah, and but yeah, I would because especially that's where Southwest flies from. So if you want to
Yeah.
go on a Southwest flight,
Yeah.
I recommend that. I like
Uh,
Southwest.
Yeah, make sure you have to check Southwest flights on their own website though. They don't pop up on sites like
Yeah.
Skyscanner or Expedia.
But
I highly recommend them, especially because they basically like own Love Field. I mean, there's like
Mhm.
2 gates there that aren't Southwest.
it's like Southwest and Virgin America used to be there.
Yeah,
Um,
I think
They
it's like-
It's Alaska now.
Yeah, I think there's like a United gate there now too, but
yeah.
there's like 2 gates that aren't Southwest out of the 20.
If you're looking for it, online to book your flights and whatnot, Love Field is DAL, not DFW. DAL. That's the
Yes.
one you want.
Well,
They also have free baggage and stuff. I'm just shilling Southwest now. Yeah, yeah. If
We
you
know
wanna,
you love-
Hey, if you want to get a Southwest credit card, let me know so I can refer.
HarmonyCon now sponsored by.
South, that'd be awesome. If we could South- I would totally go for that.
Oh yeah, I would go with that sponsor deal.
How to immediately fly off topic.
Hey, fly. Okay, we're done here.
It's pretty. Southwest is pretty fly.
That's just plain dumb.
All right. Let's
Okay.
see. I don't think we have any more questions. I had a question though. You're doing a deal with South. I don't think that's a thing we can do. We're not. They wouldn't.
Yeah, we're actually going to do a deal with Disney.
No. As funny as that would be with Southwest, I don't think it's something we're gonna do. Anyways, so what?
I think pretty much the
No, we
only
haven't
thing
tried.
is just wrap up.
Can I get peeps to apply to help with kids?
We might have some
that's
people that might be able to help with that.
HarmonyCon Disney Plus.
So just going over real quick, like the big announcements from today. We're going to be having our first 2 show guests announced, and that's Fiora the Tank Girl and Joey O/Peacock Pictures.
Mhm.
And also, our new early supporter T-shirt design for 2020 is now available for purchase on the website. Just click the link on harmonycon.org or the one that we're posting online, and feel free to purchase your T-shirt right away. It is amazing. I love the new design. It's wonderful.
I'm gonna get one.
Miracles Flutter fan. And yes, Yee-claw.
Yeeclaw.
Or Yee-claw!
Oh.
That's our new security motto. I just got told by Chris. If you mess with the law, you get the claw.
Oh my God!
We're gonna have a
Can
poster.
we
Yeah.
please put that on the back of the security shirts? Oh my God!
Worth it.
Flutter
Absolutely.
fan, they're miracles. That's all. It's just miracles.
That's incredible.
Magic. Magnets work through magic. All right.
Magnetism in high school
Claw, you
physics.
get the claw. That's gonna be on my mind for the rest of the day. Anyways,
All right.
I think we're done here.
thank you guys.
Thanks for coming out today, or well, staying in today and watching us.
And thank you for having me on this one too. I appreciate it.
I'm kind of have to now that we live together.
No, you technically. I mean, yes, we
Okay,
do
now
live
we're just
together, but you could have just seen me in the back, like, no, you stay over there.
You stay off
stay
camera.
Please give me a good outro to just close this on. Like, have a nice day, everyone. See ya at HarmonyCon, y'all. Let's all 1, 2, 3, y'all. Okay. And then
That was the most like
1, 2, 3.
northern y'all.
That was the most.
Come on, 1, 2, 3, y'all.
No.
I can't.
I'm not.
Okay, I'll just do it on my
Okay.
own.
Goodbye, y'all.
Y'all.